Good evening. My name is Martha Dickey, and I'd like to thank the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation for inviting me to speak here this evening. It is my honor to be here. I would like to share our family's journey with you. It is not to make you feel bad for us, rather to share how suicide impacts a family and a community. I am a two-time suicide loss survivor. My brother Phil died by suicide when he was 24, and my son Jason died by suicide at age 19 on September 14, 2017. Suicide is a silent epidemic, and if we do not do something, it is going to continue. We must work together as a community to end the stigma and discrimination associated with suicide and mental illness. I found out that Jason had taken his life while I was on business travel, standing alone in Chicago O'Hare Airport. I knew in that moment my life would never be the same. What I did not know was how many people would be there to catch me when I faltered, walk for me when I had no steps, and speak for me when I had no voice. Strangers helped me that day in the airport, one of whom has stayed in touch and become my friend. Support comes from family, colleagues, and community. I received a floral delivery and hugged the florist. She knew Jason and she cared. Our mail carrier stopped on his route and hugged my husband. He knew Jason and he cared. People sent food, flowers, called, texted, and stopped to visit. Teachers, business persons, law enforcement, and countless others from our community paid their respects to Jason at the memorial service. We received hundreds of letters and cards from people who knew Jason, sharing stories about him. We found ourselves in community with families who had experienced similar loss and grief. Two other families who live in our immediate area had both lost sons to suicide within a year of Jason's death. We did not know one another before, and we have since built relationships that sustain us all. Even in our grief, we knew that we had an opportunity to make a difference, to make sure Jason was remembered and that his story continues. When a reporter for the Concord Monitor reached out to us and asked if she could help share Jason's story, we knew it was a way to honor him. Through the numerous and beautiful stories Leah Willingham has written, and through Jeff Forrester's powerful photos, we have been able to continue to share Jason's story and help raise awareness in our community. We are fortunate that our state capital still has a local newspaper committed to this kind of in-depth and compassionate reporting. That is an important part of a functioning community. I started researching teen suicide and was stunned to see that recent statistics had shown a 48% increase of suicide in New Hampshire. In New Hampshire, suicide is the second leading cause of death among most age demographics. And in 2017, 38 young people died by suicide. Community has a role in preventing future tragedies. We are working to make sure that happens. We have participated in community walks and fundraisers for suicide prevention efforts and have talked to many community groups about our son, Jason. Last March, our friend Frank Grossman introduced us to Governor Chris Sununu. We were able to share with him a bill passed in 20 states called the Jason Flatt Act. We asked for his support and guidance to help get it passed in New Hampshire. This legislative session, in both the House and Senate, 3 bills were introduced, which, if one is passed, would require all educators trained in suicide awareness and prevention. I have testified before the House and the Senate to share Jason's story. I came here this evening for my husband, my children, grandchildren, aunts, uncles, cousins, and the countless friends that Jason left behind. I came because I do not want another mother to learn that her son has died by suicide, or to have to explain suicide to a young child, or for someone to tell a brother or a sister that his or her sibling is gone and is not coming back. I do not want anyone else to have to suffer that great of a loss, nor do I want anyone to feel ashamed for having a mental illness. We know that by removing stigma, we can open doors to treatment and prevention. New Hampshire has many wonderful nonprofit groups working on suicide prevention and mental illness awareness, prevention and treatment. and many others through work like providing mentors or adult education or recovery support offer people connection and hope. I encourage you to continue to support their work. You can save others. Know the signs, talk to your children, your brothers, your sisters, your nieces, your nephews, and friends. Tell them that it's okay to not be okay. In addition, lean in and on your community. Connection is critical, community is critical in stemming this tide. Thank you.